So, as you can see, I did a little switch. I ain't want my titties coming out on camera. If you noticed, yes, it popped off, and that's okay, because I stays ready, and I got glue. But we gonna get into this face first, before I get into this. So, keep your little hating ass comments to yourself if you got something to say. Don't say it. Don't comment nothing. Don't comment nothing neither, because I claps back, baby. I'm not one of those. Period. I said what I said. Now let's get into it.
So first we're going to get started with the E.L.F. Power Grip Primer, right? So basically what this primer is a glue for your face. You want your makeup to stay on. You want your makeup to last. You do not want your makeup to separate. Get yourself a good primer before you start applying your makeup. Boom. Next, you're going to go on with your E.L.F. Soap Brow, right? You're going to pair that with your M.A.C Prep and Prime FixPlus Spray. So basically, what this is going to do is create like it's going to create a little sticky consistency, and you're going to take your spoolie and mix that up, and you're going to basically brush your brows with the spoolie. You're going to go in a forward and backward motion up until, you know, you feel like you've coated all your brows with this, and you're going to mold this to your liking. You need to shape your brows so that way you know what you're doing when it's time to draw your brows on. Now you're going to go in with your eyebrow pencil. I go in with any one that I get from the beauty supply store in the color dark brown. So basically what you see me doing right now is I start drawing my brows from the tail first, because I feel like it's always easier. You could shape it from the bottom and then work your way up, especially because I like to draw my brows a specific type of way. I like to give it a gradient effect, so it'll always be darker towards the tail and then lighter going towards the front of the brow. And guys, I know it looks dark right now, but please just trust the process. It's always gonna look ugly at first until you make it pretty. And that's basically me buffing out the front of my brows because I'm trying to create the gradient effect. You want to go in with your spoolie, go back and forth. Sometimes I use my finger to remove some product every now and then in the beginning of the brows. We're gonna clean up the brows, right? So I clean up my brows with two different concealers. First, I go in with the NARS concealer in the color medium dark Amande. I think that's how it's pronounced. And then I follow up with the Shape Tape Tarte concealer in the color Tan Deep Honey, and I apply that right underneath my arch of my brows because I basically want to create like a halo effect. Like I want it to be highlighted without me actually highlighting my brows, especially with the kind of look that I'm going for. You guys want to basically mold your brows to your liking. Y'all, I can't stress this enough. Please make sure you blend because that is the key to your makeup looking flawless. So next you're gonna apply your foundation, right? I go in with the brand Estée Lauder, I think that's how you pronounce it, in the color Maple. And I'm going to take that same angle brush that I used to mold the bottom to help me mold the top of my brows. I definitely use this shade because this is my natural shade and it's more close to my skin tone, and you're always going to want to use that for the top of your brows when you're concealing, and then you always want to go in with a brighter shade at the bottom, at least one shade brighter, so that way you could give it that natural highlight effect. And guys, again, make sure you blend. So now it's time to prep and prime your face, and you're going to go in with the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus spray. You're going to basically spray that all over your face and let it dry, let it set, and give it some time before you actually, you know, apply your makeup. So I start off, one thing I like to do is go in with my E.L.F. Halo Glow liquid filter, guys. This thing is like, it basically makes your face glowy. It gives it that filter look. It just makes your skin look really radiant, okay? And I go in on it with my dark spots because I don't color correct often, especially because the foundation that I use it has a lot of coverage. So I just try to, you know, use the liquid filter to not only just give me that glow that I need. You see how shiny that looks? But to also, you know, help me color correct for when I do apply my foundation all over my face, you know? It'll give like an extra layer without doing too much. Look at me vibing, period. So now we're gonna go in with the same foundation that we used to clean up the brows, and you're gonna take your concealer brush and you're going to add a light layer of foundation to your face. Now the reason why I use a concealer brush is because I feel like it's way better for me, because I have a better control of how much foundation I want on my face. Then I'm gonna go in with a dense brush, and I'm going to take that brush and basically blend out that foundation that I just applied to my face. And you want this to look like skin, honey. Like, look at that. You blend it in and then it just disappears. Like, that's what you need. You need a brush that's not going to soak up too much product, and that's basically going to blend your makeup and make it look like skin. Alright, y'all, so now we're gonna go in with the LA ProGirl concealer in the shade Porcelain, and we're gonna put that right in the inner corners of our eyes, okay? Yeah, don't put it anywhere else, keep it at the inner corners. And then we're gonna take the LA ProGirl concealer in the shade Fawn, and we're basically going to place that by the crease right above my cheekbone, okay? What this is gonna do is basically create a gradient effect for the bright under eye. And one thing about the bright under eye, guys, please make sure when you're trying to blend this out, use the brush and you pat it into place. You see how I'm patting it in place in that corner only? Please don't swipe your brush back and forth, because it's not going to give it a gradient effect. It's going to blend into your foundation, and then your foundation is going to be one color instead of you having an actual bright under eye. So please be very careful on how you blend this out, but make sure you guys take your time blending. Alright, y'all, we're going to take LA ProGirl concealer in the shade Expresso, and we're going to take one of my basically one of my thin blending brushes that I use to contour, and I'm going to contour my nose. I'm going to basically drag that along the bridge of my nose, and y'all see I'm basically mimicking the shadow of my natural contour, because I have a really small nose, you know, and I need it to look snatched. And then you're going to take that same shade and you're going to basically place it a little bit above your cheekbones. And I say a little bit above the cheekbones because when you take the blending brush to blend this out, you're going to blend it in an upward motion. And when you see me blend it up in an upward motion, this is basically going to contour your face to not only snatch it, but you know, you don't want your face to look flat and wide. That's the whole point of contouring, so that your face doesn't look like it is flat and wide. You want to sculpt your face. So you're gonna see me go back and forth with my Real Techniques, one of my dense blending brushes, and I'm going to basically blend that contour shade out. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Blend, 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 blend. as I'm smiling and blending, what you basically see me doing here is adding dimension to my face. That's the word I was honestly looking for earlier. I want to add dimension to my face. Look at that. And then I'm going to go in with the same concealer brush, and I'm going to blend out the edges of where I put the contour shade, so that way it could all blend in seamlessly. So I usually take one of my dense eyeshadow brushes and I go right in with it into my nose contour and blend all of that out. I feel like it just helps me way better in terms of blending. It keeps the concealer in one place instead of spreading it. I know you see me also switch a brush just now into some flat brush. I was just testing this brush out. I've had it for a while now. I don't even know what kind of brush this is or what number it is. In all honesty, it's scratched off and it's from Morphe. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing with that. But you see me going basically with the concealer brush, and basically what I was doing was blending the edges out of the nose contour right into my eyelids, because what we want is a seamless blend, so when it's time to apply eyeshadow, it doesn't look all weird and extreme. We don't want the contour to be too much on the face. Like, we need your face snatched without it looking like, you feel me, you did too much. With that same highlight shade Porcelain that I use for underneath my eyelids, I'm gonna apply that to my nose for my nose highlight, and I'm gonna blend that upwards right up into, you know, my forehead, so we could create that you know, look at that, look at how glowy it looks. I didn't even do anything, all I did was blend. I decided to add more Porcelain in my inner corners of my eyes because I just felt like I wanted a brighter under eye, and this just wasn't bright enough for me. I wanted it extremely bright. I wanted it to stand out. I wanted my face to be snatched. Look at that. That actually made a difference. Alright, stay with me, gang. So right now we're gonna go in with my SkinFinish face powder, and I'm gonna take my powder puff sponge and you're gonna see me dab that in, and I'm going to tap some of the excess of that off on, and I'm gonna actually dab that into my wrist, and then I'm gonna take the face powder puff and I'm going to basically set that right into the areas where I applied the Porcelain concealer, and I'm basically gonna set my bright under eye. We want to prevent creasing, and we want the bright under eye to basically last all night, and this is basically something that you do before you use setting powder to set your face, because we need the base to base, honey. You already know the vibes. If you're gonna do it for the concealer, you know you're gonna do it for the contour. So we're gonna go in with the shade Naturally Enhanced, and we're gonna take a brush and we're gonna go in and tap some of the excess off before you apply that. So as you see, the way I apply it, I basically tap very lightly, like, and the reason why I tap lightly in a back and forward motion is because the thing about M.A.C and their contour shades, I personally feel like the shade is perfect, but you don't want it to be too much on your face. So you gotta go in lightly and build on top of it. As you can see, as I was building, I took a less dense brush and I basically blended the contour out just a little bit to make that look, yeah, look at how flawless that looks. Like, it doesn't look patchy. It doesn't look like I applied it to one area. It just looks blended out. And this is why I stress to people that blending is so important, because if you don't blend, your makeup gonna look like you put it in one spot. Like right now, it fake look like it's in one spot, but as I apply some more, I also go back and forth with the blending brush and I blend them out. I buff it out. You see, look at me buff it out. And just a tip, guys, if you ever feel like the edges are too harsh, always go in with the foundation brush and tap against the edges to blend that out. Now, one thing about Riri, she don't miss. So we're going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter setting powder in the shade Cashew. I'm going to take my powder puff and I'm going to dab that in, and then I'm going to take some of the excess and dab that off on my hand or my wrist, and take the powder puff and go right in and start setting the areas that I applied my highlight, I can't even talk. But the areas that I applied the highlighter and that I applied the face powder to set my bright under eye. Now with Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit Tan to Deep, we're basically going to take the middle shade of the top row and we're going to set the contour for the nose. Same thing you do with the highlight is the same thing you do with the contour. Okay, we added powder, we set it. Now we want to set the contour evenly. Okay, you don't want that to disappear because we want the face to look snatched and we want to add dimension. Okay, we don't want the powder to dust that off. So we're gonna blend. Okay, with the same contour kit, we're going to use the middle shade in the top row and the last shade in the bottom row, the orangey shade, and we're going to use that as basically the eyeshadow color, the eyeshadow base. We're only using one color. This is a very simple look, and we're going to basically blend that out. Okay, you're going to basically blend it from the beginning of your brow and blend that out to the middle. See me getting into my creases and everything, and then also buff that out as well. We want to blend. And yeah, you're basically blending majority of this. Like, that's all you have to do in terms of eyeshadow. Like, eyeshadow is very easy. It only becomes hard when you try to do too much, but when you keep it simple, you really don't have anything to worry about, guys. I'm not gonna lie, gang, this is the hard part. So now we're gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Megaliner, and we're gonna do the wing liner. Now, I wish I honestly could explain this part to you guys a little easier, but if I'm being quite honest, there is no easy way for me because I be using tape. So right now, I'm not gonna lie, you guys don't see me using tape. I took my time doing this part because I really just felt like, let me give it a try without. I need to get used to doing it without tape. So there goes that. So just trust the process. That's all I can really say. And I definitely applied my lashes off camera after I did that wing liner as well. Now it's time for my favorite part, right? I'm a blush girl, so we're gonna go in with the M.A.C Love Thing blush, and we're gonna go in with a blush brush. I'm gonna tap the excess off, and you're going to lightly apply that to your cheekbones, right where you put your contour, a little bit above where you put your contour. You want it between the contour shade and your highlight. Look at the little pop. I only added a little bit, and look at how much of a difference that makes. Like, if you're not a blush girl, I don't know what you're doing, honey. One thing about me, I'm gonna blend the edges out with my foundation brush, and I think you guys should do it too. So guys, this is a blush. This is a MAC blush in the shade Telling Glow. But one thing I like about this specific blush is the fact that it has the glow to it. Look at that. You already see it, and I didn't even add a lot. This is just a light layer. I actually use this as a highlighter instead because I'm not too fond of how highlighters these days look very patchy on my skin. I just want it to blend in with my makeup and it doesn't give that patchy flashback type of look. And yes, I definitely do take my foundation brush and blend out the edges as well for this too. So now what you see me do here is go in with the fluffy face brush. It's one of my brushes from Morphe, and what I do with this brush is basically go all over my face with it, and I blend all the powders out together, you know, get the spots that I feel like wasn't blended properly, and I bring it all to, you know, a blend. So I'm gonna take this white eye pencil, and what I'm gonna do with this is basically make my eyes stand out. So I'm gonna drag that across my bottom lash line back and forth, and I'm gonna make it really bold so that way, you know, my eyes can stand out, because I feel like sometimes the lashes that I apply can be, my lashes stand out so much to the point where it'll make my eyes look low. So I really want to make sure that you guys get to see my eyes. I already told y'all what it was hitting for. I'm going to take that same Telling Glow blush, and I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush and I'm going to go right underneath my arch. And I'm going to keep that brush underneath my arch and go back and forth and blend it out right into my eyeshadow, because again, I told you guys I'm obsessed with this blush due to the fact that it gives me that glow just like a highlighter. So I basically use it as an alternative as a highlighter, and I just love how well it blends into my eyeshadow. So now we're gonna go in with the MAC Mineralize setting spray, and I do 2 coats of this because I have very dry skin and I like to lock in moisture. But guys, this is basically it. This is the look. I hope you enjoyed it. I want you to like, share, subscribe, comment, leave whatever comments that you want, and yeah. Be right back, and we're gonna get into the pictures.